Oh man. Hey guys, this is Brian.
It's Jesse. What's up, my friends?
You're watching MMA The Hard Way. Boy, oh boy. I guess you saw last week's episode, obviously. We talked about UFC 151 being canceled. And we have my buddy Spencer Lazaro on. I really appreciate that. So, now we're looking at, well, one of those weekends where one of these other promotions could have really capitalized.
Yeah, they could have.
I mean, I look at my little cheat sheet. I get all my info off, a lot of my stuff off MMA Junkie. The only real big thing that's happening this weekend is OneFC in the Philippines, and you got what, Tim Sylvia Orlovsky fighting
again,
and you got what, the Dream Champ.
Viviano.
Yep. He's the Dream. Viviano Fernandez. He's fighting what? I can't even pronounce that dude's name. But the thing with that card, I mean, it's got some good fights. It's got a couple Gracies on it, and Jens Pulver's on there, and Phil Baroni. But if you, based on when they air it in the Philippines, you'd have to wake up Friday morning at like 5:30 to watch it live.
Oh man.
And it's pay-per-view, so I don't know.
I think
it's kind of weird.
I think if they really want to, I mean, I know it's meant for that part of the world, but let's face it, they're using a lot of Western fighters. They do have some other fighters there predominantly from that area, but you got Phil Baroni, you've got Orlovsky, so all those guys are, Jen Pulver, they're all from the UFC or from America, pretty much. I wouldn't have done it pay-per-view for America. I would have done it free stream or something like that. I don't know if they could do that or whatnot. Yeah. But if they want to get their foothold in one of the, in a big market like the US, I think they should do what other promotions do and
you got to be real badass to be able to pull off a pay-per-view and be successful, I think.
Especially when you're a new organization.
I'll tell you, an organization that's doing that is Cage Warriors. I was checking out, MMA Junkie's starting to get these local relationships with some of these local promotions, and they did this thing where you can, I think it's on Saturday, you can log into MMA Junkie and watch Cage Warriors Fight Night 7 stream live on their site, and I think the prelims are also on Facebook for that, like the way the UFC does. And so that's actually kind of cool. Cage Warriors, not a lot of like big names in that, but still
they're getting FaceTime.
Yeah.
I mean, slowly but surely, that's how you get your foothold. You do it for free. You stream for free. You take, I don't want to say a profit cut in the beginning, but you don't make as much in the beginning. But then when you start getting that foothold, that grip, that traction, you could maybe do something in the future with that.
I know it's weekends like this where you don't have any UFC, any Strikeforce, anything going on, is when that's when you see the biggest numbers. That Bellator pulls the big numbers.
That's true. That is true.
Like, man, where's my MMA?
That's true.
So 151, the fallout. We're starting to see some of the guys that were on that card get put on the Fox card. I think.
I did see that. One thing I did see is John Jones offered some kind of an apology.
Yeah.
He did apologize, for pulling out. He didn't say it was his fault per se, but he's just saying sorry for how it went down.
Pat Miletich had something to say that I hadn't really thought about it from this angle, but he kind of came at it from, how dare the UFC blame their failure to pull off an event on one guy, and not just one guy, their number one draw.
Yeah.
I mean, he's kind of outshadowing GSP and Anderson Silva at this point. I mean,
especially with the attention too, whether it's good or bad, however you want to see it.
To shame him like that, so so much. I mean, I could understand a little bit, but to blame the entire thing when I hadn't really thought. I mean, we were pretty ticked off last week.
I think we were just ticked off. I mean,
that
the
card
whole
was
situation.
kind of weak. Now that I look at it, I mean, the rest of the card was. There were fights that I'd like to see, but it wasn't like, oh, it's okay. But you know what? Last year, they were, when the insurance came out, they were plagued with injuries. Remember that?
Yeah.
Once they got insurance, all of a sudden, everybody and their brother was sick and injured and hurt and basically getting stuff tuned up that they should have had tuned up quite a while ago.
Before their fights or whatever.
And they were still, I remember watching it, month after month, they were pulling off decent events, even though they had all these they would
injuries.
I mean, there was probably 4 or 5 pretty big events that got totally shuffled. I mean, it was almost like if nothing happened, that was a fluke.
Well, just like when recently with Brian Stan and Bisbee and Lumber and Bosch, all the movements that they were doing on with those 4 guys, because of the injuries.
Oh yeah.
My spiff with the 151 debacle wasn't so much. It was. I agree with you to a certain extent, but the thing is that he was turning. Now the UFC was asking other fighters to step up, and no one wanted to step up. And here you had this one guy step up who's out of shape, middleweight, fighting for the first time at light heavyweight, and he wouldn't take that fight. But I'm sure they would have probably taken Shogun, or maybe it was I don't know. They can't say it was a name draw type thing because Chill does have name.
Yeah.
Whether you like him or you hate him, he does have that draw.
I'm surprised that they didn't. Anderson Silva said that he'd say the card. I would have watched that. I'd always watch Anderson Silva fight.
I would have watched that too.
Give him like Ryan Gimo.
Well,
that'd be pretty wild.
That would have been cool. Or you know what would have been really cool too is like, hey, why not Chael and Anderson at 205? They're both stepping up.
Yeah.
That would have been really cool.
Man, I hadn't thought about that.
Can you imagine, both of them again?
Talk about being able to pull out something out of but I'll tell you, last year, it's like UFC made lemonade out of lemons left and right, and we finally. I mean, it was a testament to how deep their talent pool was, and at any rate, I think we're past it. Stuff's going to play out the way it is.
You know what? We got
a lot of awesome fights coming up.
We got a lot of fights coming up that we're going to be talking about. I'm already thinking of Belfort and Jones. I'm already thinking like, I know it's too early to talk about it, but you have Vitor's bringing Rashad on his camp.
Yeah. So
that's going to be interesting, and who knows John Jones more than Rashad? Rashad, he went 5 rounds with him.
Yeah, I'm gonna see if we can get some experts. I've got you guys probably heard of Ed Buckley, striking coach. He's worked with a lot of the guys at Team Quest and other fighters. A lot of fighters in Southern California. I might get Ed to call in, and give us his take on. I remember him making a Facebook post that he figured, well, Jones just doesn't want to fight off his back. He only wants to go up against strikers. And I mean, Ed, he knows fighters, but we'll see.
He wants to do his elbow. He wants to do his elbow and his spinning fist.
Yeah. Hey, all of you that have we got a bunch of new subscribers last week, and those comments, keep them coming in. We enjoy the conversation, and please tell a friend. We're going to keep these going, and I'm making great progress on the documentary Class of One, and I can't wait to show that to you. In the meantime, we're trying to keep some regular episodes coming in here, and you never know who's going to call in on the show. And now I've got a car audio, so it won't just be me holding the phone up to the camera anymore. They'll be as if they're in the car with us. So, hey, Jesse, you got any last thoughts?
Just looking forward to what's coming, the good fights that are coming up. That's.
Ultimate Fighter too.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Welterweights.
That's going to be interesting.
Carl
Nelson, and you know, I'm just wondering what's going to come out of Nelson's mouth, because you know him and Dana White best friends, and you know, I read a blurb somewhere that Nelson actually went out of his way to get a whole bunch of people to help him that all were involved with steroids in one way or another. I don't know if it was a prick in the eye to Carwin or to Dana.
There is going to be shenanigans are going to ensue.
It's going to be you know, interesting, really, and finally they're doing a welterweight. I hope they do the 1 minute eliminator type thing like last time. I
thought I heard that they weren't going to do it, but I hope they do too. I dug that 1 minute round.
That was
awesome.
I mean, that, like, remember we talked about a couple episodes back?
Yep.
1 minute, make the last round 1 minute, and I mean, people will pull from the deepest. Yeah, you will get more finishes. I mean, it's just, you know, who knows? Maybe someone the UFC's watching, maybe not. That's my 2 cents. I think a great idea would be to make the third round just 1 minute, 100 miles an hour.
Yep. So we want to see what do you guys want to discuss, and also next week we very well may have one of you call in and be on the show. So hit us up comment on the video, and you can find us on Facebook is at Whiplash TV. So see you later.
Take care, guys.